Nothing happened and you left. Nobody rejected you. Nobody criticized you. For years, I thought I was impatient. I wasn't. Silence isn't neutral. Every exit is an experiment ended 1 second before the results comes in. You have never stayed long enough to find out you were wrong. Why no answer hurts more than a no? You send the message, you check the phone, 10 minutes, nothing. You put it face down, you pick it up again. You don't know it yet, but you have already made a decision. Your hands in work you put 3 hours into. Nobody says anything. Not bad, not good, nothing. Here is what someone could watch you do next. You start doing less, you reply slower, you find a reason it wasn't right for you anyway. Within a month, you are gone. Nobody rejected you. Nobody criticized you. Nothing happened at all and you left. That should be impossible. Nothing can't cause something. So, here is what I want to answer today. Why does no answer than a bad one? I asked myself that question for years and I landed on the wrong answer. I thought I was impatient. I thought I got bored. None of that was it. Here is the first piece, and it is smaller than you would expect. Silence isn't neutral, it only feels like nothing. Something in you is reading it as correctly as you would read a sentence, which raises the real question: what is doing the reading, and where did it learn to read? Before the mechanism, how many rooms this happens in? You bring something up with your partner, they do not respond. No fight, just nothing. Within a week, you stop bringing things up at all. Notice, nobody in this story is being cruel. You text a friend 3 times running. The replies come slower. You stop texting. If asked, you would say you drifted apart. It is also the most misread. You send a proposal, it sits in thread. By the time anyone follows up, you have already privately decided it was killed. You post something you worked on, nobody says it is bad, nobody says nothing, and the next thing you make is smaller and or never made. This next one has no person in it at all and it still work. You put in 2 weeks of effort and the scale doesn't move. The scale isn't rejecting you, it is saying nothing, and you click same shape every time. Effort in, nothing back, gone. That is too consistent to be a personality trait. That is a mechanism. Your mind is a prediction machine. That is most of what it does. It guesses what happened next before anything happens. It has to. Waiting for certainty is too slow to survive on. You cross a road, you do not wait for proof that the car will stop. You read it and you move, which creates a problem nobody designed for. It fills the gap every time before you notice. And when it fills the gap, it doesn't reaches for the truth. The truth isn't available yet. It reaches for whatever it already has. And what it already has is the whole story. I will come back to that. So, silence never reaches you at silence. By the time you notice it, it already filled in. You are not reacting to no response already. You are reacting to what your mind put there instead. And you never saw it happen. Which finally answered the question we started with. A no is information. It is unpleasant, but it closes. You know where you are. You know where you stand. You feel it and you move. Silence does the opposite. And it is worse than most people think. Your mind won't put it down. It picks it up again at 2 a.m. It is 11 p.m. You have reread the message 4 times. You are arguing with someone who hasn't said anything. That is the cost. If rejection causes you one bad piece of news, silence causes you bad piece of news your mind can invent on repeat until you make it stop. Which means the thing you have been calling weakness is doing something else entirely. Leaves make it stop. Walking away isn't weakness. emptiness. It is the loop closing by your own hands. Nothing will close it for you. But that leaves one question. Your mind fills the gap with the most familiar answer. So where does those familiar answer comes from? It is written somewhere, usually earlier, and it was accurately at the time. That is what makes it so hard to see. I know exactly where mine was written. 5 days in cell, 18 years old, no call, no visit. In there, silence wasn't the space where an answer might still arrive. The silence was the answer. It just took 5 days to finish saying it. Since then, a job, a strategy, a store, same sequence every time. Effort in, nothing back, gone. With a reason I fully believed. Yours is written somewhere else. A parent who went quiet instead of arguing. A room you kept trying in. It doesn't need to be dramatic to be legible. It only needs to have happened enough time that your mind stopped treating it as a guest. But here is one I didn't understand for years. The cell isn't the reason it lasted. I thought the answer was the cell. It wasn't. The cell only wrote it. Something else kept it alive. A prediction should get corrected. That is the point of a prediction. The world answer and you adjust. That is how you learn. So, why has this one never learned? The manager was in a back-to-back all week. He opened your file Friday. You would already resign on Thursday. That is it. That is the whole thing. Watch the sequence. Silence arrives. Your mind reads it, already decide. Then you leave. Then you leave the job, the threat, the conversation, the gym. So the manager never says, sorry, I was burned. That was good. A friend never says, I was going through something. The evidence that would have corrected the reading never arrived because you left before it could. Every exit is an experiment ended 1 second before the result comes in, which means it can run for 20 years and never once be tested. Not because it is strong, because it never been challenged. That is the trick. It isn't that your reading of silence is correct. It is that you have never stayed long enough to find out it is wrong. So here is the experiment, 10 seconds. It is not a fix. Next time you put something in and nothing comes back, and you feel yourself start writing a resignation in your head, stop before you act on it. Look at what your body is doing. The checking, the chest, the hand reaching for the phone. Name it in one sentence. The silence has already been read. Stay in it. 10 seconds. Not to feel better, just to be there. Why the verdict get handed down. Then ask one question the reading never asked. What do I actually know? Not what does it say about me. Just what do I actually know right now?
in this one?
Usually, the honest answer is nothing. Nothing has been said, and that is completely different thing from what your mind already decided. Then make one small choice the whole reading aloud. Send a follow-up. Stay one more week. Do not close the laptop. One time, prove nothing. 20 times, rewrite the reading. That is the only way it has ever changed. Not by understanding, by outvoting it. It won't work every time.
Some days you will read the silence and be gone before you notice.
That is not failure. That is reading that is been running a long time. But every time you stay 10 seconds and ask that question, you have done one thing a pattern has never allowed. You have let the experiment finish. You have made the silence report to you instead of the other way around.